If you're a woman who's ever been told your time passed, that you missed your window, that you should have figured it out by now, oh, this one is for you. If you've ever felt that quiet panic at 2 a.m., wondering if you're already behind, while everyone else seems to be sprinting ahead, sit with me. Seriously, because I need to tell you what happened when someone told me I had aged out of being relevant. My name is Priya Deshmukh Patel. I was born and raised in a tight-knit Indian American community in suburban Atlanta, Georgia, the kind where aunties measure your worth in milestones. Degree by 22, marriage by 27, first baby by 30, and if you dared to pivot, restart, or experiment after 35, oh honey, that was considered embarrassing. The tradition in our family wasn't written down anywhere. It was just understood. Women build stability, not spotlights. We support, we don't reinvent, and I followed that script perfectly. I became a nurse at 23, stable, respectable, predictable. I married Rohan Patel at 26, software engineer, sensible, practical. We bought a beige house in Alpharetta with beige furniture and beige dreams. I worked night shifts in the ICU for 13 years. 13 years of antiseptic air and the hum of machines. 13 years of holding strangers' hands while their families sobbed into vending machine coffee. But here's the part nobody saw. After every shift, I came home, peeled off my scrubs, and mixed skincare formulas at my kitchen counter. Because nursing wrecks your skin. The constant washing, the harsh hospital soap, my hands were cracked raw by 30. I started blending oils to soothe the burns. Colloidal oatmeal, rosehip, ceramides. I became obsessed. I studied dermatology journals during lunch breaks, took online cosmetic chemistry courses at 2 a.m. while Rohan slept. It felt like oxygen. The first time my niece Anaya noticed was when she was 9. She was sitting cross-legged on my kitchen floor, watching me stir a small glass beaker. "What's that, Mossy?" she asked, her voice soft and curious. "It's mine," I said, smiling. "Something I'm making." "For work?" "No," I laughed. "Just, for me." She looked at me like that was the most radical thing she'd ever heard. For me, that was her first appearance in this story. She won't be the last. By 36, I had a full formulation notebook, pages thick with handwritten ratios and crossed-out attempts. I had before and after photos from coworkers who tested my creams. One of the ICU doctors joked, "You should bottle this and sell it." So I did. I spent 2 years quietly building a brand. I named it Sutra Skin, sutra meaning thread, because every formula felt like stitching myself back together. I drained my savings, didn't tell anyone except Rohan, designed the website myself, shot product photos on our back patio at golden hour, balancing jars on overturned flower pots. The night before launch, I barely slept. My heart wouldn't slow down. I kept refreshing the homepage preview like it might disappear. Launch day was humid and bright. Georgia summer pressing against the windows. I posted the link. Orders trickled in. 20 the first day, then 50, then 100 by the end of week 1. I was 38. 2 weeks later, Rohan came home early. I was labeling boxes at the dining table. He didn't sit down. "Priya," he said carefully, like he was discussing a medical diagnosis. "My mom asked what this skincare thing is." "Oh," I said lightly. "Just the brand I told you about. She thinks it's unnecessary." I kept labeling. "Okay," he exhaled. "You're almost 40. These influencer brands are for girls in their 20s. You've aged out of that world." I laughed at first. I thought he was joking. He wasn't. "You have a stable career, a reputation. Why risk looking foolish? It's not relevant." That word hit like ice water. I swallowed everything I wanted to say. Because good wives don't argue. Good Indian daughters don't embarrass the family. Good women don't chase visibility. He picked up one of my jars, turned it in his hand. "This packaging looks homemade," he added. "It's not professional." And then, and this part still makes my chest tighten, he dropped it back onto the table too hard. The glass cracked. Cream spilled slowly onto my shipping labels. It wasn't violent. It wasn't dramatic. It was dismissive. Have you ever had someone crush something you built with that kind of casual indifference? Drop a comment if you know that exact feeling, when the person who should believe in you the most doesn't. I cleaned the cream in silence, but I didn't stop. For the next 18 months, I built in invisibility. I worked ICU nights, came home, fulfilled orders, reinvested every dollar. I upgraded packaging, hired a freelance designer in Seattle, found a lab in North Carolina willing to scale my formulations safely. I didn't argue with Rohan anymore. I just moved quietly. Anaya came back into the story when she was 13. She was sitting at my table again, but taller now, watching me seal boxes. "My mom says you're going through a phase," she said cautiously. "Oh," she says, "women can't start over at 40. It's sad." I looked at her, really looked at her. She was absorbing it, the script, the timeline. "Do you think that's true?" I asked. She shrugged. "I don't know." That shrug haunted me. By the time I turned 39, Skin had been picked up by 3 boutique dermatology clinics in Atlanta. A beauty editor in Austin featured us in a Brands to Watch column. Then, something wild happened. We were named the fastest-growing independent skincare brand in the Southeast that year. Revenue had grown 600% in 12 months. Rohan found out when one of his coworkers congratulated him. He came home holding his phone. "Why didn't you tell me?" he demanded. "You said it wasn't relevant," I replied calmly. That's when I made the structural move he never saw coming. I had registered Skin as an LLC the day I launched. Sole owner, separate business accounts, separate legal identity. I had quietly leased a small production studio under the company's name 6 months earlier. And 3 weeks before that conversation, I filed for divorce. Not angrily, not dramatically, strategically. Now here's the return moment. And I need you to slow down with me, because this is where everything shifted. The annual Georgia Dermatology Innovation Summit was held at a glass-walled hotel in Buckhead, white marble floors. The air smelled faintly of citrus cleaner and expensive perfume. I'd been invited to speak on a founder panel about scaling clinical skincare brands. I wore a deep emerald silk blouse and tailored ivory trousers, minimal makeup, one of my own serums catching the light across my cheekbones. When I stepped onto the stage, the room hummed with low conversation, rows of chairs, industry leaders, investors. And in the third row, Rohan. Beside him, Anaya. She was 15 now, long hair, sharp eyes, watching me like I was something unfamiliar. The moderator introduced me, founder and CEO of the fastest-growing skincare brand in the Southeast. CEO. I let the word settle. I spoke slowly, calmly, about formulation integrity, about starting at 38, about ignoring timelines. Halfway through, I said, "There's a dangerous narrative that women expire creatively, that innovation belongs to the young. I'm here as proof that relevance is not assigned by age, it's claimed by courage." The room went still. I could feel Rohan's stare. After the panel, there was a networking reception. Soft jazz, clinking glasses. Rohan approached me first. "I didn't realize it was this big," he said quietly. "I know," I replied. Anaya hung back. Then she stepped forward. "Masi," she said, her voice trembling just slightly. "I told my guidance counselor I want to study biomedical engineering." My throat tightened. "My mom said it's too competitive," she added, "that I should pick something safer." There it was, the script, repeating. I crouched slightly so we were eye level despite my heels. "Do you want it?" I asked. She nodded. "Then you don't ask permission to be relevant," I said softly. "You build until they have to recognize you." Tears welled in her eyes. And in that moment, that exact moment, I understood. This was never about Rohan. It was about breaking inheritance. Behind us, a massive screen displayed brand growth statistics from the summit sponsors. Skin's logo rotated among them. Clean. Professional. Undeniable. Rohan looked at it, then at me. "You've changed," he said. I smiled gently. "No," I answered. I stopped shrinking. "The final symbol? Remember that cracked glass jar he dropped? I kept it. I cleaned it carefully and placed it on a shelf in my new studio. The fracture runs down the side like a lightning bolt. Inside, I keep the very first formula sample I ever made, not as a reminder of dismissal, but as proof. Even cracked glass can hold something powerful." Anaya interns with me now in the summers. She's applying to top engineering programs, and every time she hesitates, I tell her the truth. There is no expiration date on relevance. If this story felt like it was written about you, if someone has ever tried to shrink your timeline or define your expiration date, subscribe to Her Untold Revenge and share this with the woman in your life who thinks it's too late. Because sometimes the most powerful revenge isn't loud. It's becoming undeniable.